If you saw my last video, for sure you know that I've been in Los Angeles for some, let's say, project. And I thought, okay, actually my idea was going there, and I thought I would come back with tons of like street style picture, those inspirational pictures that I like to do. But in reality, I ended up doing so many portraits and so many model tests, which I love even more, that I don't have many of those photos, but okay, I'll show something. While I was in Los Angeles, I also had the chance to test a film simulator plugin called Dehancer. This is a plugin for, I think that first of all they develop for DaVinci Resolve, so for video, to give the kind of film look, like old style, and then probably they even develop for other software. Of course, I don't have DaVinci Resolve. I'm waiting. Hopefully, they are gonna also do the version for Final Cut Pro. But by the time, what I have is Lightroom and Photoshop, and they also have the version for Capture One also, and Affinity Photo, and probably by the time you watch this video, even more. At the moment, they have like 63 film look in general that you can play with, but the thing is beautiful. It's like there is a lot of feature that you can play with, and for some of you, maybe if you know me, if you don't know, who cares? Anyway, I'll tell you. Usually I don't like much the let's say sharp, crisp, digital look. I always wanna edit or color grading or changing a little bit of whatever picture I take, whether it's a portrait or whether it's just a landscape or whatever, a street photo. And I like a lot the film look, I like a lot the grain, a little, also I like the little blur, not too sharp, you know, that's besides this one. So usually what I do, I apply my own filter on Lightroom. I also have some VSCO old style that try to simulate some camera, some film look, but then on top of this I tweak it a little bit. So I create like my own style. And man, with this guy, the Dehancer Pro, wow, it's another level. I really enjoyed it. I tested a lot. I took, especially for all the model tests that I did, and man, I like. So yeah, I'll share with you my experience and what I learned. So first of all, okay, let's get some of the picture that I did it, for example. Okay, let's get this. So the software works exporting the raw file with your own adjustment, and then creating a TF file or JPEG or PSD, and then applying the filter there with other features that you can do. So of course the best option is always try to tweak the picture, and maybe the picture the way you want, highlight, shadow, mid-tone, and also whatever you want to do, because then, I mean, you're not going to work on the raw file anymore, you work on the TIFF that you generate, or JPEG for it. So let's say that this is a picture that I like. I'll just show you. Right click, edit in Dehancer. As you can see, you also have the option to go JPEG, PSD or TIFF. Let's say TIFF is the best, but to be honest, a lot of pictures that I tested was in JPEG, because I had so many and I didn't want to use too much space, and also was just for some social media besides some other works there to do. But for me JPEG was fine, but in this moment let's go with TIFF. Color space, you can choose which one. Actually they suggest you to use with the light, I think it's something due to Adobe, they suggest you to use sRGB, but then we'll come back to this one. Okay, and then whatever, you can go edit, so it's gonna create is on let's say TIFF file from the same color style. Okay, the moment I don't have the license in full anymore, and so okay, we're gonna see this watermark. Okay, first things I want to show you on the left what we have. We have this film profile. This is already kind of preset that you can start with, Anyway, you have a different film. You can start from here, color negative, positive, black and white, you know, and then you can work from there, or even favorite, because anytime you like one, go favorite, you put it aside. So I would say this is a starting point, because then once you apply the basic film, for example, I don't like the this one, which is Adox color implosion, because it's a little bit too magenta for me. So I would go with this one. I think it was my preferred. You see, because the color doesn't change much. Actually, it's just a little bit way more flattened than the digital. This is the digital. This is not digital. But then, as you can see, if we go on the right panel, we have a lot of other options. I don't play much with this one, but you can adjust in case. Remember, it's this. You can play with the color temperature. For example, you can play with tint, the fringe, which is the, you know, the legal pixel border that sometimes happen in digital camera, kind of I would say a chromatic aberration. And then you can also work on black, adding more black point, you know, you see, or the opposite, more white. I mean, this is something at the moment I don't care. Okay, then you can also apply the print profile. I don't print anymore, so, but this is a cool feature, because you have different print you can apply, depend on which paper you use, which print, but I don't care. Let's move on. Then, okay, you can even adjust yellow and blue. You know, if it's, for example, too yellow, I like the yellow on the back, so I would go, yeah, that's too bluish. This is the one cool feature, the one that, let's say, mostly appeal to me, which is the film grain, where you click, you see immediately applied some film grain, where you can change the size. I usually work on 1, so the minimum, but actually it's cool even, and also I feel like depend on the resolution of the picture. You can go up the size amount, you can put more grain or less grain, the resolution of the grain, which I feel like it's like, yeah, the detail, the way it's created. Also, you can work on the shadow, mid-tone, and highlight specific grain. Let's see if we can show here, for example. Let's say in the shadow, yeah, this black part. You see, now we got a little bit more grain than here. We are removing, you see, that's the black. Then same highlight in case you wanna less or more grain on the highlight part and the color. Then we can play on the halation. Halation is the, let me see if we can show in this picture. Halation is the kind of little halo almost of light that goes a little bit beyond the border of a picture, and it's typical of yeah, all the style, yeah, I would say camera and film look. You can play with the bloom. It's kind of giving a glowing look, which can be cool. Consider that this can be an instrument that you can play with your picture and apply different effect that please you. Doesn't have to be a specific, in my opinion, research of I want that exactly film look that I remember, you know, because honestly I don't remember the film look, not even the one that I like, but I like playing with the color, not having the digital crisp effect of the new camera. Then again, okay, you can work on the vignette. Okay, so size of the vignette, where is it? Let me see the feather, if we can show, just to see, you see, and then sides, for example, you know. Okay, I mean, I don't like vignette, but just to show. Okay, let's take it out. Vignette, take it out bloom, because at the moment I don't care bloom. I don't want halation, so you can even remove whatever effect you apply more. But another cool thing is that once you find, let's say, a a color style that you like, a film look that you like, plus you wanna adjust a little bit, maybe you want a little bit more grain or less or whatever you do, then you can even save as a preset. This is usually what I do. So if I go on this panel preset, you see these are my look. So a picture like this, I would go with this Agfa Color XRS 200, boom, which is already set up with the kind of film grain that I like and all the effect. And you can see that doesn't change. I like it because it doesn't change much the color of the original, which I prefer to set at the beginning on Lightroom, but apply the grain, plus you see that the black are less black, and everything looks like there is this little veil that give you the look of a film. And then of course you can save, you do OK, and hold on, and we're gonna see, it's gonna pop up. Okay, here, of course in this case, guys, I don't have the license, so you see the difference. Okay, one thing that I wanna highlight, if I said at the beginning, okay, let's go back again, let's launch, for example, Edit, Dehancer. They strongly say that for to work in Lightroom and Photoshop, its best option is using RGB. Actually, it's the one that keep the real color of the original one. But I was like, let's try another one. I'll show you. Let's try Adobe RGB. So we are starting from the same picture. I'll show you what happened. And then we go in preset, the same, and then go OK, and I'll show you the difference, which in my opinion is cool too. Okay, so can you see? So this is the original, the bottom. Then on the right we have the one applied with the sRGB color profile, and this is the other one. You see, it's the color are a little more desaturated and kind of shift a little bit on the greenish, which in reality I like sometimes. I use this little, let's say, fault of Adobe, or the relationship between these two software, in reality to create a different look, more desaturated for my picture. One thing that I would change, let me see, it's like I'm not super pleased with the black and white option they have. I'm not super, I mean, I'm sure they're gonna update with new filter, because once you buy, you have the option to update and download a new filter look. So I hope they're gonna change something in the future. At the moment I'm not super crazy, so anytime I wanna do some black and white photo, I stick with my option. I already have my preset with my grainy, and playing also with a single channel. But this is just my my opinion. So let's go back. As you can see, these pictures are generated using the Adobe RGB profile rather than the sRGB, because it's a little bit more desaturated than the real color tone of the girl. Same things I did here. Actually, I like it. This and this. It's a little bit more desaturated. Okay, consider the way works this software. The best option is always applying whatever you wanna adjust in Lightroom or Photoshop, because the interface is the same, so that you are working on the raw file and you have much more flexibility. But then in case you can tweak later for whatever. At the end of the video I'll leave you with some a slideshow of some picture, just to have an idea of the effect, even if I know maybe through the video it's not easy to get all the detail, but consider that anyway this is my the option that I choose, that I like tweaking but not much, keeping always the color that I choose on Lightroom, and then applying some effect that I like, kind of literally film vintage. So thanks for watching this and enjoy the slideshow. I'll see you in the next.